Hello, everybody, and welcome to Speak On in Comics, where we discuss any and all topics in the wonderful world of comics. My name is Charles, and I have my partners,
Eli
and
Matt.
and today we're going to be discussing Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Every night, I dream the same dream. And then,
Just released, just a week ago from
Yeah.
Marvel Studios?
Yeah.
And did you guys check it out? Did you guys see it?
We did.
I actually, my student, shout out to Gabe if he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me from his mom's phone. He sent me links to Doctor Strange and Moon Knight immediately, like the Super Bowl. It aired, yeah. And then we talked about it.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, we've all pretty much followed the MCU from inception with the Iron Man movie all the way through to Endgame.
Yeah.
And we were always all wondering, like, what now? After Thanos, came and, kind of took away half the population, and we kind of got them back thanks to our heroes, thanks to, Thor finally going for the head, and Captain America, and and yeah, exactly. So, and it was like, okay, what now? What is the MCU is going to offer? So this is basically after that we had the Disney Plus shows that came out. Last year we had the WandaVision and the Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. We had some movies. We had some new entries. We had Shang-Chi. We had Eternals. We had Black Widow finally. So she finally got her solo film, and which led into the Hawkeye series, which was the last of the Disney Plus shows, and then we got Spider-Man: No Way From Home.
But of course, you got to thank the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yup. I was
Well,
gonna say that
If
too.
Into the Spider-Verse didn't do good, I think No Way Home would have been No Way to the theaters. You know what I mean?
And honestly, it's funny
Yeah.
he says that because, like, I was having a conversation. Into the Spider-Verse kind of gave, I think, Hollywood an idea. It was a great movie. That was my favorite movie, right? Hands down.
My
My
favorite Marvel movie now.
favorite comic movie ever. Into the Spider-Verse, right? We got to do a speak on it about it. But it kind of like Hollywood saw, you could take a Spider-Man from this world. Spider-Girl from here. Spider-Pig, and people loved it. So I think, it's my theory, probably his too, because he mentioned it. So it's our theory that, like, if that movie didn't do well, maybe the whole multiverse idea wouldn't have even came up to play. Because when Sony saw, wait a minute, money through all these Spider-Men, let's get Garfield back, bring him back. Let's get Toby back, bring him back, right? Put him with Tom Holland. So that was their version of Spider-Verse.
Right.
Now, technically, no one has any type of, like, any type of trademark on multiverse.
Right.
So what does multiverse do for Hollywood? It gives him a chance to make more money by bringing back
their old
old
films, too.
and maybe some new, and then some in between, and some stuff that maybe failed in the beginning. They bring it back in, and people like it. Like Garfield's becoming popular again, even though people were crapping on
We're
him.
talking
after.
about Andrew Garfield, right? Not the
Yeah,
cat.
Andrew Garfield. Yeah.
I thought you were talking
You know
about
what
the
I
cat.
So
I
it's
hate
like
Mondays, you know what I mean?
he probably have one too. Give it time. He was superheroes, right? Roxy knows.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, it was like you can see that probably Doctor Strange. I had an idea of it, but I think the whole multiverse thing. I could be wrong, but I think like it was Spider-Verse that really opened that door.
Yeah, I could see that happening. The Spider-Verse definitely was a successful animation movie, and it did so well. And it introduced Miles Morales to
But it was Doctor Strange.
it introduced Miles Morales into the fold, and it introduced some other characters. Gwen, the Ghost Spider,
yeah.
And Spider-Ham and all these other characters. I think that when the acquisition happened back in 2017 with Fox, when they brought all of the rights back for their assets and got back Fantastic Four and got back X-Men and obviously Galactus and Silver Surfer, I think that they always had they was always thinking of some type of way in order to interject those characters into the MCU. So they've been playing with different things, and I think that obviously the Quantum Verse, from the Ant-Man movie, they've also talked. I think they talked about the fact that different dimensions, bringing in obviously Doctor Strange's, with him having those ways of, breaking the whole, reality barriers and things like that. So kind of interjecting all these different versions and ideas of characters being interjected into the MCU. So I think you're right. I think it does have something to do with, we can actually have this done. But also too, I think it was also something in plans for them to just be able to say, you know what, we're going to finally get the X-Men, finally get the Fantastic Four,
a way to get them in there,
to get them into the MCU. So really, really fantastic. So you guys saw the trailer. What did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys?
Yeah, I mean, like, I waited to see the trailer at TIFF, but everyone's talking about it at work. I'm like, shut up. Like, I'll see it. I was playing Apex and my boys telling me about it. I'm like, I'm muting you, man. Like, just let me enjoy it, because even with the trailers, you want to, it's an experience still.
Sure.
So I guess with the trailer, we know Wanda's in it, right? Like,
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
Right? Like, we all know that.
Yes.
So we're expecting to see Wanda.
Yes.
You got did they show already, like, from the original trailer? Did they show Eyeball Guy? Was that
Shumagora?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peeked him.
Yeah.
So, like,
Marvel versus Capcom.
Exactly. Like, so I was hyped for that, but I feel like at least what they show you now it looks like there's like multiple Doctor Stranges, because you have like the Dark
What
Doctor
if one?
Strange,
Things just got out of hand.
which is like, if you have him, then are you going to bring in Vision? Are you going to show us of like the Vision in with the dude in the chest? What's his name? The Nazi guy. He took over the body
Not
at the
Murdoch.
end. The TV dude.
You talking about?
Yeah,
The guy with the glasses from part 1, not Murdoch.
No.
Aaron Zola?
Yeah, Aaron
Zola.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, are they going to
How
give us
the
a
heck
live
did I
version
remember
of
that?
him? Well, he's a cat bad guy. So you you have him, then you have Killmonger as well.
Yeah.
So I hope they give us that. But it looks awesome, man. And you have the Zombie Strange. Now, but is it Zombie Strange, or
It
is
looked
it?
like him,
Well,
yeah,
it
or
looks
is it
like
like
him.
corrupted?
It does, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You have the one that turned into the giant monster.
Right.
So like it could be a
I would
form
love
of
to see
him.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they made a great pop of him too.
Yeah, you can find it anywhere. No one really
Yeah,
bought
I
that
bought
yet.
it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I was
sweet.
tempted to buy it. Haven't yet, 'cause it's really big.
He is. He's like a the 6-inch one. But you
Right.
have him. What else they showed? Just a bunch of Wandas.
Yep.
You have the Wanda
Yeah.
that's like looked like she just snapped.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think that they took little elements of, if anybody is familiar with the House of M storyline, that happened back
No
in the
more
day.
mutants.
No more mutants. So maybe she's gonna say, "I
Bring
want mutants,"
or
I
maybe
want
something
mutants.
else.
And talking about mutants, like now, is that the Illuminati that you see? You
Well,
know
that's
what I
the
mean?
whole thing.
Patrick Stewart.
I mean, if anybody
Did you
knows
see
about the
Patrick Stewart?
Illuminati, the whole idea of it was originally in the comics. It was Iron Man who was the catalyst to bring that whole secret society together.
The
And-
think tank, you would call them.
Yeah, basically to bring all the top tier superheroes. They're sort of leaders of all the superhero teams that we all know. So Professor X, Prince Namor, which you guys will eventually know if you don't know.
If you don't
Now you
know,
know.
you know.
Short-haired Iron, Aquaman,
Reed Richards, and which there's been speculation about him showing up. We don't know.
Yep.
Iron Man. There's been speculation about that.
Black Bull. I wonder if
No,
they're
I was gonna say
pull
now.
Poor Marvel
did they
Inhumans.
retcon the Inhumans, or you think they're just gonna leave them out of it?
You know what? I
Might be.
think that MCU, what they've been trying to do is do a lot of cleanup.
That's what I'm saying. Well, we
So
have the
I think
multiverse,
like
so
the multiverse is going to be that
they give Medusa her hair back.
ability.
Finally?
Give her hair. Right. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they
they shaved
it's
it,
ridiculous.
right.
They made us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't like that that they did that to Medusa. She's such a great character.
Yeah, so
I was
quick,
like,
too.
Oh my gosh! Like right in the first
I
episode.
was like, they want to save money.
They did, of
Yeah.
course.
Lockjaw was awesome though.
Lockjaw was
You
great.
could finally see that big bulldog with the little bleeding in his
And I
head.
love Karnak. Karnak was great.
Yeah.
But I thought that the show itself was obviously didn't do well.
Yeah,
But
man.
there's a way for them to kind of clean that whole that whole
Make
thing
it-
up
make
and
amends.
make it amends and build it back because they
Build it
they
back.
did such a great job with Endgame with doing Dark World. Like Thor: The Dark World was one of the I think the least popular
So
out
they
of all
put
the
it in
MCU.
Endgame.
They
so
put it in game
people
so
will
you
buy the
could want to
Blu-ray
go
and
into
watch the
Dark
movie.
World and watch it and be like, let's do it. Yeah. So it's all connected. The Illuminati. Yeah, the Illuminati. So I
That
think
was the
that
last part, right?
Yeah.
The trailer. That's pretty much the trailer ends with.
it ends with
being
Professor.
brought up.
Well, him being brought to the council.
We should tell him the truth.
Supposedly the Illuminati.
We don't
whoever
know.
we
We're
don't
just
know.
So-
assuming.
Do you guys think? Because I have a theory about. Remember we talked about Spider-Man: No Way Home. How like they kind of when Spider-Man like got to his apartment, there were no mention of what's his face. He had no picture of Tony Stark. He had his Aunt May. He had his boy. He had Mary Jane, but there was nothing about Tony Stark. They got rid of all his tech. Right. Doctor Strange obviously doesn't know who Peter Parker is anymore.
Right.
So I was thinking, is this movie going to be a repercussion of that? Or is he doing something else because maybe Sony's going to do their own thing
No.
and kind of maybe not completely separate from the MCU, but kind of like, all right, well, we're not going to be seeing our kid on the weekends anymore, maybe every other month. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I think it's like the feather on the camel's back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have Wanda, she pretty much messed up everything.
Mm-hmm.
With what she was doing.
Right.
Then you have Loki doing his catalyst going on.
Everyone's screwing with the
you know
time.
what I
Right,
mean?
the
So
variants
everyone's
and- yeah.
breaking things. You have,
Yeah.
Peter Parker doing his thing with Doctor Strange. Do I think that?
You think that's like a
I just
direct-
think, it's one of those
Doctor
things.
Strange.
They're putting too much weight, and then it all broke.
Yeah.
They probably all broke it. Then you
More
have
possibilities.
originally the Avengers going back and messing that up.
Yeah,
Captain
everybody's-
America stayed.
True.
So
They don't
if
know
you-
how to deal with life,
if-
these Marvel
if
characters.
you go back to the original, the one who messed up the timeline is Cap, because he stayed. He was
Yeah.
supposed to come back, and he never did.
Yeah.
Right.
So he would be the first break off
Be like
of the
Joe
branch,
Biden.
unless that was a loud branch, like they said, which, again, is one of those things.
And
Well, I
then
think
by
it's
him
all a-
returning the stone, did what's her face come back? Did Scarlet Witch come back?
Well, actually,
maybe not
if you
with
think
Marvel.
about it, I mean, I know you guys. Did you see Eternals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys know about the whole bringing back the population, that sparked the energy that raised that
Yeah.
eternal in the earth. So there's a lot of different. It wasn't just Cap. I think it was a lot
That's
of
what I'm
different. There were
saying.
kind of cause effects of a lot of different things that were, and I think that's the thing about this whole, with this universe is that there's always cause and effect to some degree. Ultron. Everything that has happened, Killmonger, everything that has happened is always some cause of effect with
Iron Man.
Iron Man. I mean, he wanted to have something to protect the planet with Ultron, but obviously he killed. He kind of created
Big bad's pretty much repercussions. Right.
created a kill bot. Basically. So I think they kind of all played a part in that. In that.
Yeah. Like I said,
Sort of
I won't blame Peter for
breaking. Yeah.
that,
No, not blame Peter. I just
No, I know
wonder,
that
like,
that's
if
the
that-
catalyst.
If
I
that
don't
thing
think
like
so.
is what he's getting in trouble for. Well, Matt, you think it's a buildup of everything.
I think it's everything.
I don't think it's really Spider-Man thing because I'm thinking like a bigger type of like Marvel and Sony kind of saying for this. Sony's like my toys at the moment. You know what I mean? Which I could be wrong. The next
Unless
Spider-Man.
by some of the villains, like who they show, Doc Ock. If you get a Doc Ock, a Hobgoblin,
Will they even mention Spider-Man? in the
you know
Doctor
what I mean?
Strange
Maybe
movie?
one of them open another portal, like Zombie Reed Richards.
Mhm.
Unless one of them saw like, wait, there's other dimensions, and they're messing their timelines up and their realities because they saw that bridge. Because they might not know who Peter Parker is, but maybe they remember seeing a Spider-Man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
do you forget everything that happened, or do you just forget who Peter Parker is? We don't know the repercussion of the spell.
We
Yeah.
don't. That's the problem. I think
'cause
that's
Yeah.
the issue. Yeah.
Does nobody know Spider-Man?
We'll find out.
Because they said
We'll find
just
out.
don't. Peter Parker doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Does Spider-Man exist? If Spider-Man still exists, and all those villains saw their enemy there, and they're like, "Wait, that was another dimension. There's more. Let's
Yeah.
let's try to just
Yeah.
have fun."
He's gonna need help from Miles Morales.
So yeah,
Right. Well, here's another thing too. I mean, the Illuminati. If the Illuminati is brought into the MCU, right? So eventually, I mean, originally it was just those 6 individuals, these guys, but eventually Black Panther.
I was gonna say Black. And
Right.
'cause I would get rid of Black Bolt and put Black Panther.
Right. So if they're thinking about long term, because obviously with the passing of Chadwick, and there's been a lot of push to get from fans, like especially over the past year, to get T'Challa recast. And I think that the multiverse thing could be a way for them
That's a good
to
point. Yeah, I think of it.
utilize that without
Really messing up what Chadwick did.
right.
See, I thought they were going to use that with Killmonger. I thought that when you saw, the multiverse with the series, what was
What
it?
If?
The What If series. I thought if they had a good Killmonger, bring Killmonger back, take him the role of Black Panther.
Yeah, people did like
That's what I thought. You know what I mean? But I guess Killmonger's bad in every
Yeah,
reality.
he's like the Magneto.
He is. You know what I mean?
You know
But
what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a good one,
Right.
you already know Killmonger. He's already the actor. I'm pretty sure if they go out to him, he would probably want to do it out of respect.
True.
But they didn't give us that. So like, why are we holding on to, like keeping Black Panther the character like hidden away? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a great, powerful, in life, great role model for kids. You just can't let that character die.
I agree.
You can't put him away and be like, well,
I
it was
agree.
one and done.
Recast T'Challa. I'm saying it right here.
You know what I
Recast
mean?
him.
You gotta pass that
Listen,
torch, and
Chadwick.
he would want
yeah,
it.
and Chadwick. I think Chadwick
know?
would want that character to live on.
course.
And transcend, and he wouldn't want that character to be put on the sidelines or
Character means too much
deaded
to
in
me,
a
yeah.
cheap way or whatever the case may be. So I think his work in making the presence strong for T'Challa was what he wanted in order for this character to be considered amongst the elite superhero, up there with Superman and Cap and Iron Man, all those, and Batman, all those guys. So I feel like that it's a great way for them to figure out do it in a very
Tasteful way.
smart, tasteful way to
Respectful.
bring T'Challa back into the fold with a new actor. And there's a lot of great actors that would love to. I think that would be fantastic in the role. That would do a great job. So hopefully that'll be the case. Hopefully they'll bring
We shall see.
Black Panther.
And
in.
then they will. Like, we all say it,
Yeah.
because the second movie is on this fifth rewrite now, so we don't know.
Yeah,
we
they're
don't know
going through a
what's
lot
gonna
of
happen.
issues.
You know what I mean? It's just with the COVID, with the actress, with everyone.
Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Like, they might bring him back in the second movie. Like, and my thing too, I was gonna say, like, you can have him go to the plane and come back looking different.
Yeah.
The spirit world, like something like that can change someone's appearance as well. Like, there's
True.
many different avenues you can go with it.
True.
I
I believe so too. I
But
believe so too. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
We'll
that's
see.
one thing I doubt they're gonna mess up on. It's too
Yeah.
much,
No, too much extent.
too much raise on it.
Yeah, too much. Yeah. So, but I think that overall, this just opens up a whole new
course, yeah.
evolution and expansion level for the MCU, and obviously, I think we're going to see the Fantastic Four. When I saw the Eternals film and I saw Urshan the Judger, and the way he was looking on the planet Earth and stuff like that, I was like, wow, Galactus
Yeah.
is that they're going to.
Yep.
He's not going to be a cloud.
Yeah.
He is going to be the actual
Yeah.
Galactus that we all know and love.
The big,
and then
big
of course,
guy.
with Galactus brings Silver
Silver
Surfer.
Surfer. Yeah.
Who's another fan favorite. So I'm looking
Going
for the
rad.
power cosmic being to,
And remember, he doesn't have to go after Earth either.
no.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
you can
They
put him
got
in a
space
Guardians.
going on.
You
They
can
have
put
a
him in a
little
Guardians
midget guy.
thing.
Yeah.
You can put him in
Pip.
so much in
Pip.
Eternals. You can
Yeah.
put him in so many other things.
Yeah.
Because isn't he like Eternal pretty much? Like
Kinda,
Galactus, like
kinda.
one of those like the.
He's
He's a
up
celestial.
there.
That's what I'm saying.
He is a part,
He's like
part of
Thanos,
that.
like
Yeah.
family.
He is part of
Bloodline.
that. Yeah. He is.
I remember
He
that
is.
comic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wonder if Silver Surfer would be put in like Eternals
That would be
too. or
awesome.
something
That would be
like
that would be great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to bring Galactus here, because you
Look,
bring him
Paul,
here, they might be like,
Paul.
look too cheesy for some people.
Right.
So
right.
have him in space, and then he finds out, he gets his butt kicked there. He's like, let me go after Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
No doubt.
that would be cool. Or you have him going after Silver Surfer's planet.
That's
True.
great. Right.
And then you can-
and bring
That's
that
how it
whole
starts,
right.
yeah.
And kind of give that
Make,
backstory
how about
to
that
Norman
point?
Rad.
Give Silver Surfer his own damn movie.
But that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You
Yeah.
can do that, But if you use a character to bridge it over, You know, I think that'll be awesome too.
I think that would be dope.
Won't be
yeah.
a happy movie, but you know what I mean.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean,
With
sacrifice.
great tragedy comes
Of
great
course.
heroes.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. But I think that would be great. I think that everything that's moving forward through with I'm just excited. I mean, comic book movies. I mean, it's they talk about comic movie fatigue. Not for me.
Nah.
I
So
More, more like Matrix. More.
it's not even that. It's another genre. You have westerns, you have
Yeah.
romance, you have comedy. Now we have superhero.
And it's
Yeah.
lasting longer
Slash
than
Marvel.
most.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I had this
So
conversation
that's all,
with
like.
our parents came from the beach party genre. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know?
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
And then it
saying,
was
so.
the 70s had the sci-fi, 80s had the
Sci-fi.
slasher.
Slashers. Yeah.
You know,
So it's
Yeah.
just making
The
it like
westerns.
it doesn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And within that genre, we have
Yes, they
other
have all that in there,
subcategories.
yeah.
You have the spy thrillers,
Exactly.
the action, your comedies, your
Cartoony.
dramas. you
Right,
know,
there is
so-
a lot of
Animated for kids and
subgenres.
for,
I agree.
big kids like us.
Yeah.
So then you can still make
Yeah.
your movies. 'Cause I know that's a big thing. They're like, oh, superhero movies are destroying the movie industry. Like, no, you can still make a great movie.
Yeah.
You know,
I think there's room for
it's just an
everyone.
excuse for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's because your movie did bad. You're like, oh, these Marvel movies, man, they're destroying everything. Like, nah,
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
happy the movie. You
Yeah, the movie
made.
just didn't do well.
Yeah,
But,
there's still some great movies
Bitter.
out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Sour grapes.
No, I mean, if you got to give credit's due, I mean, No Way Home got people back into the theaters. You know, I mean,
It's
the
a
theaters
good
were
movie.
struggling.
It's a great movie.
So it got people back in. Amongst other movies, I mean, the King Kong, Godzilla.
Yeah, that was good too.
Amongst others,
That one made some money.
the James Bond, the last one. There's been a few that's gotten people back into the seats. You know, yeah. So I mean, I appreciate the fact that with everything that has transpired with this, it's like now we getting this robust of
This
like
toy box.
great
Toy box.
movies to just
You
you
know,
know.
Toy box
you
movies.
notice the more they make the movie like the comics, the better the movie does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then that's
Stronger story.
stronger story. The more
Yeah.
imaginative, the more layers to it.
Mhm.
'Cause you try to pitch this back in the day. Yeah, we can try to bring multiple Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah.
you crazy?
What? There's
Yeah.
only
You know
one
what I mean? Like,
Batman.
no.
Spider-
Yeah.
DC's doing it
You know
too
what
with
I mean?
Flashpoint.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
well.
multiverse.
But here's the
Multiverse,
thing,
yeah.
though. Now,
Yeah.
do you think that they jumped the gun with, like, not jumped the gun, but sped up the process because of Crisis on Infinity Earth? Wasn't that the Flash?
Yeah.
Green Arrow,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
They
that was
did
the
it first.
crossover. Yeah,
They did do it.
the
DC did
crossover
it
in the
They
first.
did
TV
it first,
show.
and everyone loved it. They had,
Yeah.
Ezra Miller, right?
And he
Ezra
popped up
Miller.
at
He
the end
popped
of
up.
it.
Hello?
What the hell is this? I'm asking myself the same question. Literally. No, this can't be happening. What are you doing here?
Well, I'll tell you that when you tell me where here is. Is this cosplay? Oh,
They had
They had all the
Doom
different
Patrol. They
Supermans,
had Titans.
you know.
Kevin Conroy played a bad Batman. I didn't really like that too much. It was kind
But
of cheesy.
you know what I mean? Like,
But
you have...
They had everybody.
But
and,
you had
and that did
everybody,
really
yeah.
well. Then I
Yeah.
think that was like they got to give DC the credit. At least,
Well, they had to. I think that's the great thing about
Multiverse.
these guys with Marvel and DC. It's like, one to make a step, and then the other one will be like, okay, I challenge you, and I'll make a step, and then I'll challenge you, I'll make a step, and that's what kind of brings everything to where we got to today. Because if I feel like DC, for the most part, has always been ahead of Marvel, since with Superman the movie and the Batman '89 and all of those movies previous, and the only thing Marvel really had that was successful was the Incredible Hulk TV show. But once Blade came into the
Blade,
fold,
yeah,
and then
that
you
was
had
the
the
beginning.
that was the beginning.
Blade was the
And
beginning.
then X-Men, and then the Spider-Man. It was like those three films, you started to see Marvel's magic, and like,
there was
okay.
no other like good Marvel movie before Blade, right?
Not before that. They had
But
Howard
you
the
have
Duck.
Batman,
They had Howard the Duck.
19,
That was in the
Marvel
80s. That didn't
movies
do
were
well.
pretty bad.
I mean, there's some people
The
that love the
TV
Howard the Duck,
movies
but
like Daredevil meets Hulk,
Yeah,
yeah, the TV,
Incredible
yeah,
Hulk.
Then you
yeah,
had
the
Hawk
TV,
Thor. Death of Incredible
the
Hulk.
definite
You
Incredible
had
Hulk,
the Nick Fury movie.
Oh
Thor.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Captain
Fury
They had
America
Gen
movie.
X,
yeah,
the TV show.
yeah.
They Yeah, it was
The
pretty
Punisher
bad.
with
The
Dolph
Punisher,
Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, yeah.
Yep, he was in the.
It's like Marvel was
eating
trying,
rats.
but they were like a slow grower.
I mean, that was a fun movie though, but it wasn't the Punisher. It was just
No.
Yeah, it
the only
wasn't.
thing he had was the knife.
The
right?
knife with
Yeah,
the
the
little
knife.
skull.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Still like that movie.
Yeah, like I said, it was,
Oh, yes, God.
it was a fun movie, but yeah, no, I think you're absolutely. I didn't even thought about that.
Like it's like so
Blade's the
Marvel
first,
really
uh,
like
no,
Blade.
it was. Blade started it.
Blade started it, and then obviously X-Men, and then Spider-Man,
If
and then Daredevil.
if you watch Blade, right,
Mm-hmm.
they don't say Marvel at all. They don't even acknowledge it's a comic book film
Mm-hmm.
till the very end, and you see it in really tiny letters.
Yeah,
Created by Marvel Comics.
yeah, and
Real
they'll say
tiny.
Marv Wolfman and
Yeah.
whoever.
Hold
yeah.
on, did they?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
did
did.
they
Yeah.
give him credit? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That I didn't know. But yeah, it was like a dirty little secret. Like
Yeah.
an R-rated vampire movie
Mhm.
starring an African American, right? Wesley Snipes, shout out to
Mhm.
him, made a ton of money,
It did- it did.
and that's what started this whole thing
It did.
spinning.
Because it's so funny because
'Cause
I
Batman
think
Robin
people
killed
wasn't well
Batman and Robin killed the
well
movie.
you know it's so interesting because if you look at a lot of
Freezing
the
him.
comic book movies at that time, you had the Phantom and you had some of these other ones
Yeah.
that came out at the
The
time.
Shadow.
The Shadow,
The Saint,
and the
oh.
Saint,
The
and all
Saint,
that.
yeah, that was a TV
so
show.
it was like,
Mhm.
but the successful ones, the one that the movie industries felt like, oh wow, this can really, and that sparked from Blade on, and then obviously we got Hellboy, we got some of the
Yep,
other ones
the
that
independent ones,
yeah,
and more
that came
independent
out.
ones.
So
Great ones,
you
too.
know, yeah. So I think everything kind of like helped in really getting us to
That's
where
why.
we are
That's
now.
why in the end I tell people like, there's no such thing as like Marvel. You know, this is better than this. I don't believe that because it's like you needed each other to grow.
Yeah,
Because Marvel couldn't just by itself without DC's help. DC couldn't have done what they're doing without Marvel's help.
Right.
The comic books helped one another. even
helped
through-
each
you know
other,
what I
yep.
mean? So
Yep.
it's like it's just not one thing. The independent comics are growing because it started with the big two.
yeah. And a
You
lot
know,
of the
and
guys
they-
that
or
are
TV
working
shows and anime
independents
series.
worked in Marvel and DC
Yeah, and they
comics.
just want to
All
write
it's
their
all
own stories, so it
connected
branch off.
in
Yeah.
the great circle of life. You
Yeah.
know?
So it's interesting, but I really do think that this is going to just bring us a brand new storytelling for the MCU as far as again bringing in all the Fox characters from the other movies, and allowing Marvel to kind of expand their universe beyond, because nobody thought that. But once Endgame happened, it was like, oh gosh, then now what? And now it's like, okay, we can
Multiverse.
see,
You can do anything.
we
at
can
this
see, we
point.
can do
Anything.
anything we want. You
Yeah.
know,
Comics did it for years. It's
Yeah.
time for them to catch up.
yeah,
Have
Technically.
fun. Make good
So-
movies, but make it fun.
yeah.
You know, like bring Wesley Snipes back as Blade.
Oh man, I
Right?
mean nothing
Like,
against
like, not
nothing
even-
against Cottonmouth.
No, I love that actor.
Shamar,
And
yeah.
he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
but-
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, just like if you show us like a Blade from that world, like
That would be amazing. I think that in some way, shape, or form, Wesley will probably be a part of it.
Somehow. Yes.
Somehow.
he's not in jail, right? He's out.
No,
paid
Yeah,
his
he got
taxes.
out for
All right.
tax evasion. Shame on
No,
you,
he's
Blade.
out.
He's
He's
out
out.
of it.
He's out. But
Yeah.
his accountant screwed him. But I think with everything is going on, I think now we're finally coming to the part where we can kind of see comic book movies really taking, really strong stride, especially with the apps, the Disney app and the
Oh, yeah,
HBO
yeah.
or DC apps.
We're paying for like our own
Yeah.
shows now, like the streaming is us.
Basically,
You know,
yeah.
we're paying for that.
Right.
Did you see Boba Fett?
I'm watching that
The last
now.
one?
I'm watching that.
Okay.
I'm watching.
I'm not going
up
to say what we
I'm up
paid
to,
for.
I'm up to the fifth.
but those
episode.
that saw this episode knows what we paid for. You
Yeah.
know what we paid for? Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's like that's us. You
The
know?
show got better.
It did.
It got better.
It did.
I'm
I'm going to
coming
tell
in-
Charles not to watch the end of this because when I cut it, because I'm probably going to show what we paid for.
This is cool. This
But
is
yeah,
cool.
no, the multiverse movie, I'm telling you, it's gonna be, and they have a lot to live up to now. Like the trailer showed us what we already know,
A lot of
but it's stuff we already know. You know what I mean? And now we got to think about what are they hiding? And remember, the poster shows Captain Carter, her shield.
Yeah.
is on the poster.
Yes.
So
Yes.
You're going to see, yeah.
And then they
Smart.
obviously they're bringing in new characters. So they got America
America
Chavez,
Chavez.
which is
Yes.
going to be, and she's like
Gabby.
Gabby Rivera.
Gabby Rivera.
Yeah.
That's not Gabby Rivera. That's our Gabby.
And she's like, she jumps dimensions and stuff like that. So she's going to play a big part. And we don't know who the big bad is. Is it Strange? Is it
I don't
Nightmare?
think
Is it
because it looks like they're
Galactus.
pushing one.
Galactus? Yeah.
It looks like
Break the rules. Look out! Become a hero. I do it. I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
it looks like
Yeah.
evil one.
Wanda
I-
might
I
be
feel
bad,
like-
or
You know
she
what I
might
mean?
bring Galactus. No,
Because Strange, even the bad Strange, did he have a name? Is there? I keep saying bad
He
Strange.
was just,
the what
he
if
was
Strange?
No,
just,
he
yeah, it's
was
just
what
what
if,
if.
yeah.
It was just a mirror image of
Like even that
Stephen
Strange was good at the end.
we should do an episode. On
He
that
did
one.
he's a jail keeper, so I don't think he's going to be in that much because he can't leave. He has the
Yeah.
two people fighting in the time stone, that's
True.
frozen.
True.
So he can't go out.
True.
Unless
True.
he doesn't care, and it's like, you know what,
Look, dude.
you know what I'm saying? He can,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then you have the zombie Strange, unless he's trying to bring the zombies over. But then that, I feel
It'll
like,
be a lot.
you know what I mean?
That would be interesting.
If he's trying to open a portal for them. to
Yeah.
go into-
Multiverse of Mad's gonna be at least 6 hours.
No. It would have been a great show. 'Cause then you
True.
can have all these things.
True,
Right.
but it's definitely gonna open possibility.
No, yeah. So, but I think what they're showing is just the beginning. Like,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know for a fact.
And that was hearing Syntac.
Yeah, no.
I was hearing that.
But
you
I don't know
know,
too many
but I
Strange
don't
as
know.
bad guys. You know what I mean? So I can't really.
He knew
Yeah,
the
double-
Minotaur guy. He's a bad guy, but
well, Renta, he is shown in the trailer, and he is
Renta.
So he was one of Strange's disciples, and what he did was, I think, in one of the war battles that Strange had, he had his cloak of levitation destroyed or torn or damaged, and Renta was one of the
Fixed it.
ones that kind of fixed it. Yeah, so
he's
he
green.
And he has
repaired it.
he has a new cloak.
So that's the thing.
Ah.
So
Did you fix it, Rental?
You know,
Renta could
Unless
be.
his cloak went to get a tattoo or something. You know what I mean? Because why would it change if it's the same
Went to go
cloak?
get laid with Saturn.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
why would he like?
Yeah.
I mean, he might want a change of appearance, but or
I mean-
she. I'm not giving the cloak a gender. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Either way, it's clingy.
You know, so so that could be it. Maybe the cloak did get destroyed. And,
Yeah, and Renta was
Renta brings
the
it
one
back.
that brings it back.
That's
yeah.
why it's different.
Yeah, so that could be the case
Unless
too.
it's a different Strange.
Unless it's a different Strange.
Like-
But maybe
No,
they'll
it
bring
is
Clea.
You never
Maybe
know.
they'll bring Clea into it. You know, Clea was one of one of Strange's love interests or whatever. But she's also taking over being Sorcerer Supreme right now. So
Then they have all
Yeah.
those theories out there that
Tons of them.
like Superior Iron Man. Then you have
That's
Iron
true.
Lad. You have all these other
Iron
things.
Man, yeah.
You know, I mean, they're gonna bring him back, but I think it's still too soon.
Yeah, did you
Him and
hear
Cap, I
like
think it's too soon.
Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks might be an Iron Man in that movie? Did you hear that one?
An Iron Man?
Yeah, two different Iron Men. Did you hear
I
that?
was hearing something about Tom Cruise. I didn't hear about Tom Hanks. I didn't hear about that one.
That'd be interesting. Different.
I mean, everybody's been having so many. I mean, it's been heating up.
So many,
You know,
so much gossip.
perspectives,
The
and
crazy thing is,
This
I
is
don't
good
like-
gossip, though. Not like
Yeah.
war and politics and pestilence. This is good gossip.
no, it is. It is.
Like
You
this
know,
gossip.
hopefully they give us this what Sony did in Spider-Man, because we knew what we were gonna get,
Yeah,
but they over-delivered. You
They
know what
did.
I mean?
They
And
did.
it was like, we know we're gonna have these guys are gonna be in it, the villain's gonna be in it.
Right.
What they gave us was a great movie,
Yeah, they
and
did.
we all know it was gonna be fun, but
but we had no idea how much fun.
and it was just all around a good movie. So hopefully this does the same. Hopefully they're giving us just enough to like
Just,
get you that
yeah,
little-
get us
the little,
hooked again.
The little spittle coming from your mouth, you know what I mean?
Get us
a little
hooked all
little,
over again.
little salivation. There.
You know what I
That's
mean?
amazing. It's
But
amazing.
we gotta see. You
Well,
know,
we'll see. We'll see. Well, we're definitely going to keep.
they got
you know,
my money.
Yeah, they,
Mine too.
Yeah, I got my
Like
ticket.
every comic
in my
and
head.
toy.
I got my ticket. So, so it comes out what, May 5th, 4th, 5th, I believe.
Close to Josh's birthday. I think May 6th.
May. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I know
probably
Batman's
March 4th.
that's March. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's March, and then May, yeah. So I think those are the next two big
Next
comic
month,
book
Batman's
movies
coming.
you know, coming out.
Vengeance.
So
This is gonna be fun.
yeah,
So and hopefully, you know, they're gonna add my man for his magic fingers from Spider-Man in it. He's already a wizard. You know, he's the sorcerer, Spider-Man's best friend. What's his
Ned?
name? Ned.
Oh,
You know what I
God.
mean? He's already a wizard. They gave him his magic fingers. Why not?
Magic fingers.
Yeah.
Then we'll go on.
He has the Peter tingle in his tips.
Peter Tingle.
so why not?
Did he say Peter Tingle?
Yeah,
Peter
and
tingle.
Peter
Yeah, Peter. In the tips.
And tips.
In the tips.
And
Yeah.
tips.
On that
You gotta
note.
put him
So,
in
so yeah, so we got Batman coming, and we have Doctor Strange coming, and
there. Peter tingle might be coming.
guys,
we'll see what happens.
yeah. So we're gonna
Too
see
much
what
caffeine.
happens. Yeah, definitely.
Listen,
But
this
listen,
is the multiverse of madness. Right?
Yeah, definitely some madness going on right
It's
now.
the multiverse of madness happening. More madness than
At 52 University Avenue, Newark, New Jersey.
But thank you guys. I appreciate you
Always a
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you guys for tuning in and always supporting. And you know, I mean, where can they find us? Where can they find
Speak on it on Instagram, right?
Mhm.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, popping out
popping out?
on YouTube, Instagram, Art of
Yeah.
Eli, Instagram, and also
Yeah.
all on TikTok.
Oh, that's right.
Well, on
All
TikTok, too.
Yeah, TikTok.
Art of Eli 1980, TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah,
Twitter,
rhyme arts.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Not Snapchat though.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal one?
I just have to speak
Yeah.
on it. You know, I
Yeah,
just
maybe
have
I'll
to.
make him a personal.
Eventually, I'll
We call
cross
it
over into the
Sexy Cho-
multiverse.
Sexy Comic Reader 1.
See, you know what?
Sexy chocolate.
You know?
The madness has returned.
We're signing off. Don't forget to speak on it, guys.
Stay encouraged, everybody.
Bye bye.
Things just got out of hand.
You break the rules. Look out! To become a hero. I do it, I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.